I'm not sure if you caught, we had an episode a few episodes back with Dennis Lopez, and he's,
Yeah, that kid's
from a different
smooth, dude.
generation of skating. He's really smooth, but I know you're pretty detached from skating, but does it trip you out to sometimes think that, the things that you've done still have an impact on people to this day, and
No,
it could still inspire people? Is that like weird, or is that like cool for you? How do you take that?
no, I think it's really awesome. I mean, I'm obviously I don't think that I never thought that I did inspire people like that, but like seeing how he skates and seeing his thought process on why he chooses the things that he does, I'm happy knowing that I was an influence to that because that's the way I feel about skating. Like, you know what I mean? People could say all day like, "Oh, Mike does top soles and royales all day long," but it's like I feel like how long I was stood in the mirror trying to master that sole, like looking at my style while looking in the mirror, like does this bounce look good? Okay, no. Let me spread my legs a little bit this. Like, I spent a lot of time trying to master certain tricks. It's not like I said, I can't do every trick. I could do most of the tricks in the skate vocabulary. But what I feel comfortable doing and what I have fun doing is a different story. You know what I mean? So I mean, I like that he has that thought process on like not trying to do the hardest tricks. I don't think anybody should try to run before they know how to walk. You know what I mean? Like you should learn how to master the basics before you do some shit. Like, and then to me, I
Totally.
wasn't really ever trying to impress like other skaters per se. You know what I mean? Like after I said, after a certain time of my skating, I started thinking about like how to make skating more popular type of thing. So I'm like, what is the average person? How do they look at skating? What do they care about skating? Because they don't know what the fuck is
Right.
a negative mistrial.
Yeah.
They know you look like this, and you got the negative mistrial going on. But like, if I could do some shit and look like nice and smooth and elegant with my shit, you know what I mean? That you're gonna get in trans. You're gonna get you're gonna want to do that or feel that way. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I guess I could say it. The way I did tricks, I wanted people to feel. I wanted people to feel what I felt when I was doing the trick. So if I was staring back at something and like talking shit at the rail, that I wanted you to see that shit and like know, give you a little insight on how I feel when I do something. You know what I mean?
Feel cool, like feeling cool on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I would have internal battles with whatever spot I was. I would come off and I would land like that. Look back, landing. I would look at you like fuck you, and then like
Yeah,
walk
yeah.
Yo,
away.
because
That's
because
me looking targeting the spot.
you had a very like ninja. Okay, because like a lot of people don't know, and I think this had like Frankie's the same way. There's like you're really big into like Dragon Ball Z, Japan animation, like
You
Yu
know
Yu
it.
Hakusho, these other
You
things, and
know
so like
it.
a lot of that, the theme behind a lot of those cartoons is like transcending to the next level and like elevating and like focusing on your style and all these things. And I feel like
Mhm.
that ninja style, like you brought that out in like a lot of your skating, whether it was like the Luke Hangs to Royales, or like the one of your my favorite photos of you was like I think a True All Soul, where you're just looking straight back in this big
Oh
crowd
yeah,
in
yeah. A winter
Germany.
clash. A winter clash.
Yeah, the Winter
Yeah,
Clash one.
yeah. But it's like
Yeah, yeah,
all of
yeah.
those like iconic things. They just like they it's more than the trick. It speaks to the character
And
of
that's the
who you
thing.
are in that. Yeah.
I think it's like a movie, right? It's like say if you're filming a movie, it's one thing to get a shot, and it's one thing to like frame everything in that shot, like set dress that shot perfectly to get everything perfectly like composing to the one thing you wanted to look at, sort of thing, right? So it's like it's a lot of elements that makes a fucking shot in the film, right? So I
Mhm.
think it's the same way like a trick. It's like it's one thing to just to do the trick, but it's another thing to add that extra spice on it or extra personality onto it to make it that much better. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I could be doing easy tricks, but you're gonna remember that easy trick because of the way I done it. You know what I mean? Or at least
Yeah.
that was the goal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those were like the two things you were known for. I would say your style and which you just explained pretty much why. And you're from New York, so, it's a given. But the technicality also, you're one of the most technical skaters ever, even still to this day. And I think you kind of almost brushed on it before when we were talking about the battling, and you were like, or maybe just you have a spot and don't want anybody to one up you, so you have to like think outside the box, kind of. Did
Right.
that like start with the technicality right there, or was it something
No,
else?
I mean to me it started like we were always talking like my friends, like the New Yorkers, my New York friends, they were always talking shit. Be like, "Yo, Mike, you don't skate gaps though." I was like, I'm like, for one, they hurt. You know what I mean? That's gonna shed some years off my lifespan right here if I jump this gap. You know what I mean? Like, you remember that? What's that 135th gap? I try to straight jump that shit. Holy
Yep,
What?
I
fuck!
remember
You try
that.
to straight air that gap, the double
You don't
set,
remember that?
the double
Yo,
set.
my knees just James
Yeah.
Brown like that. They went in like this. I hit the inside of my knees. I was like, this is dumb. This is dumb. Why am I doing this? But the whole process behind that, it's like if I go and jump that gap and bust my ass, Dustin could come in 53 the next day, and then my shit would be just washed away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My impact on that spot would be washed away. So when I went to spots, I was like, let me try something very technical, because if someone wants to do something better than me on this, if they want to have shit talking rights, you got to try really hard, unless you like super like God mode saying, I don't know. You know, so like that's when I started doing like a lot of the. Well, I will always do variations, but I will always do they were just fun to me. I could never just sit there and I can sit there and hold some shit if I wanted to style it out, but if I wanted to get tech, I would just count them up. 1, 2, 3. Just try to figure shit out.
Yeah, I always pictured you like the guy like the hibachi place, like with the ching 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 ching, like that was your skating right there. You're the guy at the hibachi.
I thought it was fun, man. I don't know.
It was sick.
That was my thing about skating. I love dancing on shit. It just felt like I was just slapping it every time I like slap. Like it's just slap box, like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me.
I want to talk about the Hoedown that you were with Dustin Holleran. Man,
that
first
was fire
of all,
Hoedown. Hell yeah.
First of all, that was like the first time so many tricks were seen. Like these tricks had never been seen or done before. Like 540 true top Soyao, 540 true Mizu, Dustin fakie 540 to forward Mizu 360 out.
Oh yeah.
It was just like an onslaught of you guys were just absolutely killing it that day. So one, I want to talk about. I want you to tell us about what that day was like, and two, do you think you got robbed? Do you think you should have won that?
Damn.
Okay, so yeah, that day was awesome because we were going to town. You know, I think at the time we were still young, so we were like, we had to like try to make our East Coast mark. You know what I mean? Because there was not that many East Coast skaters like dominating shit at the time. You know what I mean? So who better like than Dustin and I to go there after? I mean, I don't know if that was before VG or after, but we went there and we were trying to do our thing. You know, Rob G was in that killing shit too. Yeah. So I mean, it was just like it felt like war. I remember thinking I was like, I'm never skating another Hoedown again after this, because that shit was like. It was like pressure, you know what I mean? Like someone does something crazy and you hear that roar, it's like, rah! And then everyone just turns and looks at you like, what you gonna do, son? So you had to just huck your shit. You had to just huck yourself. I was like, yo, I'm either gonna die doing this or, you know, I'm gonna have glory, you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of that was. And you probably felt both on that day if you were skating the Hoedown in the finals, right? So, I mean, that's when I was hitting.
They were intense.
That was the first match. That 540 True Soyao, that was switch. That was my first time doing that. And I think I hit I was hitting we all hit a bunch of tricks that day, dude. Do I think I got robbed? I don't know. At first I thought I was killing shit because no one, like at the time we were just all killing that one spot. But now knowing politics and how people look at shit, like it's always about that last trick. And it's always about like the whole fucking course kind of thing. You know what I mean? So to my knowledge, I was killing shit. But if you look back at it, you probably see Shima like killing shit all over the place. Like fucking jumping off roofs like Superman at the time. Who knows what he was doing? But yeah, he probably deserved that one. But I was mad. I still got 2,000, but 8 would have been better.
That was a hell of a battle, man. I remember that. That's something that will go down in the books. That was a heck of a contest, man. That was something.
Yeah, I mean that shit didn't even matter. Like there was contests that meant more to me. Like I remember when I was like a little kid and like Ray Mendez and them, they took me to Venice Beach, Virginia Beach, right? And like I think that's when I was like I was still young. I was super young because I remember like Ron and all of them, they had like strippers in the room and shit. And I was just so young, I didn't even know what was going on. But I was reading the book. I was reading the book on the bed, like waiting for this contest because it was really important to me because I didn't have money. I didn't have money to get there. You know what I mean? At first, like I was, still poor at the time. I didn't have money. So I think my mom was like engaged at the time, so she had like pawned her wedding.
This is Virginia Beach, right?
Yeah, Virginia Beach. So she had pawned her engagement ring so I can go to that contest. Wow. And I was like, that's my mom was like, yo, you take skating too seriously, but she was still like my ride or die. She would give me anything I fucking wanted. You know what I mean? So, and I was passionate about it. I was like, yo, I want to go here. I want to go to this contest. So it was important to me to go there. And I was like, and to potentially win some money at the time, so I can get that fucking ring back, But yeah, so I went there and they all, like, I was really focused. I wasn't partying or nothing. I was too young to even do anything. But the strippers came in. I was just like trying to see them and everything. It was funny. But yeah, I won that contest in my first round. I didn't even have to skate the second round, and I won the first time. And then went back home, took my mom shopping, got her ring back and everything. Like that shit. Whoa. Like those moments are the ones that like that really mattered, kind of thing. Like all of the other contests don't really, you know.
Hold on, you just like raced through that story, which
yeah,
is
that's
incredible.
an amazing story, by the way. I didn't know that.
Your mom pawned her engagement ring for you to go to a skate contest in Virginia Beach, and you were, and so you felt like a responsibility
Like,
to win
focus.
that.
I was like, my focus was on 200%
Yeah.
at that point. I was like, I didn't want to fail. I didn't want her to, as a son, like, you little kid, you always growing up in the hood, you always like, yo, I'm gonna take care of my mom when I grow up and be something. You know what I mean? And so that was always a big thing for me to try to protect her and try to use my gifts to get her whatever she wanted.
That's crazy. And then you went down there and you won first place. Came back.
Yeah.
And
epically. I was like, Nisk, I get a G-Shock.
Took her on a shopping spree, and then you got the ring back.
And I got the ring back. Yeah.
Do you remember?
She was like, "Oh, you can skate." She was like, "Skating's okay now. You good."
Do you remember what she said when you first told her that you won?
She was like, "Shut the fuck up." My mom had a big. She would curse a lot. You know what I mean? Obviously, you hear me. It's hard for me not to curse. I'm trying hard, but yeah, she was like, she always gave me whatever I wanted and always had my back. So it was important to me to get her whatever she wanted.